people basically trying to police your uterus. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, hi, my name is Cass. Thank you so much for clicking onto this video. I very much appreciate it. If you haven't watched any of the other videos on this channel, please make sure to go ahead and take a look. And if you like them, just go ahead and subscribe and join our little family over here. So let's just get right into the video. I am talking about something that people bring up a lot as you quote unquote get older as a woman when it comes to becoming a parent. Do I regret not having children earlier? So I'm 30 years old. I had my daughter at 29, and I very much know that that is not old to in general, but definitely not old to have a baby. I feel like when I was in my early 20s and some of my friends were having children, there really was a lot of talk about how, you know, it's best to have children now, and instead of worrying about having children later on in your late 20s or early 30s. The reason behind it was, well, in my early 20s, I can still chase around my kid. I'm 30. I have an 18-month-old, and I can chase around my kid. I think sometimes when we're younger, we think that certain ages are old, and that is not the case. I guess like when you're in your early 20s, when you're looking at 30, you're thinking, ooh, that's kind of late, that's kind of old. And honestly, that is not the case. If you're someone that takes care of yourself, you're eating well, you're exercising, taking care of your mind, you can still chase around your kid in your 30s, in your 40s, in your 50s, and so on. So the whole idea of, oh, you won't have as much energy or you won't have the capability to be able to keep up with your child, totally false. Unless you're just someone that hasn't been taking care of themselves. But if you do take care of yourself, you should be able to keep up with your kid in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, so on. Another thing that I used to hear a lot when I was in my early 20s with people that were having children in their early 20s was that, oh, if you have your children later on in life, you're really starting over. I had my children early, so by the time I'm your age, I'm not worrying about a newborn. But here's the thing, whether you have a child in your early 20s, in your late 20s, early 30s, late 30s, 40s, either way, you still have to go through all of those stages of raising your child. You know what I mean? It does not matter whether you do it in your early 20s or you do it later on, you still have to do it. And you know what's crazy though? When I was in my early 20s, I honestly thought that I was gonna start having children in my early 30s. I never envisioned myself having children in my 20s. I ended up having my daughter at 29, which was close enough. But I was never a person that wanted to have children earlier on for a bunch of reasons. You know, when I was in my early 20s, I was still in college. So I don't know how I could have been able to afford a child. I didn't have a place of my own. I was still living with my mother, and very comfortably living with my mother. And I wasn't going to bring a child into my mother's home. I wanted that by the time I did have a child, I had my own place. So I just didn't see how I could have a child while I was still living with my mom. I was also only working part-time and a minimum wage job. I just couldn't see how I could afford a baby at that point in time. And the most important reason, a partner. Like someone that I felt like, oh, this is someone that I can build a life with. This is someone that I can have not only have children with, but also raise children with. Like, I think sometimes we just get excited about the idea of becoming parents. If you're someone that, I'm not talking about the people that, decide to just become solo parents, single parents. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about people that actually do want the dynamic of having, two parents and a child in a home. Sometimes we don't really think about things moving forward. The person that you're with, the person that you are having a child with, is this someone that you see yourself being with long term? Is this someone that you see with that, even if, because long term is not guaranteed. So even if things don't work out with this person, do you see this person being a responsible person? Do you see this person being involved in their child's life? Do you see this person being someone that can handle co-parenting? A lot of the times we don't think about those things. At the end of the day, it's your choice when you want to have children. But I don't think it's anyone's place to say, oh, you're waiting too long to have a child, or you're having children way too early in your life. Do what you feel is best for you, but just don't put it on other people, because different people have different reasons why they decide to have children at different times. And sometimes it's not even a decision. Sometimes some people can't have children or are struggling to have children, and there you are inserting your beliefs about when or when not to have children, and that's just not a fair thing to do. Just let people be. Let people make their decisions. Stop putting down or discouraging people to do things simply because you did things in a different way. Quite frankly, if you feel ready to have children and you want to have children, go for it. If you feel like you're not ready, if you feel like you don't even want children, then, that's your path in life and nobody else's decision to make. So it's a very interesting topic. I definitely do not regret not having children earlier on in my early 20s. Like I said, I had my daughter at 29 and I'm 30 now. I definitely don't have any regrets at all. I just don't see how I would have been able to. And I'm glad that I did wait, because I'm with a partner that, like I said, those other things that I did mention. I'm in a long-term relationship. He is a good father. And I know that, like I said, long-term is not guaranteed, but, God forbid things don't work out. I do know that this is a good person. This is someone that is still going to continue being a good parent, even if we end up not being together. Those are the things that I did think about before deciding to start having children. I only have one child, and whenever we are ready, because those questions do come up, we're not even going to talk about that, but yeah, again, you have to think through those things when you decide to have your next child. This person that you're having a second child, how have they been with this first one? If you feel like they're not a responsible parent, if you feel like they're not a good partner in terms of like just being a good partner to you, but a partner in parenting, then you should really consider and really think about if you really want to have another child with this person. So it's a lot to do with a lot of different things. It's not just about, oh, I have energy to chase my kid around. There's a lot that goes into making the decision to have children. So what do you guys think about that? Did you ever experience a situation like that where people were constantly saying that you're taking too long to have children, and you're going to regret not having children earlier. What has your experience been? I honestly didn't have it too bad. It was just like comments here and there. I never had a situation where it was very, like, it kind of like really bothered me to the point where I was like, oh, this is, really bothering me. But was it like a bit irritating? Yeah, absolutely. But it was never anything crazy. But if you guys have gone through this and have experienced people basically trying to police your uterus, what has your experience been with that? So if you guys are comfortable enough, please leave that in the comment section. I would really love to hear and see what your experiences were when it comes to that. So guys, that is basically the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you continue coming back and continue to watch videos to come. I very, very much appreciate your support, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.